By the
Is
way,
it?
I realized I wasn't recording. That's all right.
I just gave you access, and I guess you had to hit record again, but you never hit record
Yeah, I
again
never
after I
press
gave you the
record.
access.
Nah, nah.
Okay, got you, got you. Oh, that's actually pretty funny, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
The last thing I heard from you was you were changing up your editing style or your video style a little bit,
Yeah,
and
like
then
if
you said that, yeah.
it's just not been a high ROI for my videos. Like I've made some um like maybe 3 or 4 videos, which I actually think are really unique and phenomenal, but they don't get many views. They get like 30 views, 80 views, whatever, which is fine. But they're really niche. Like, look at like Simply Always Awake. He has 15K subs and he makes a video every day and they're really quality. And I know I can't even get close to that. Furthermore, I'm not there yet either. So I think there's no point in me continuing to make videos on this niche if I want to get views, if I want to be successful on YouTube. Um, I'm
Mm.
still gonna make stuff, but I think I'm gonna make stuff that's more like modern self development or appears like that from the title and thumbnail and has more of a clickbait title. And then I'm gonna introduce my own spin on it, which is the unique aspect, kind of bridging those worlds. But I don't think, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Plus, I want to just improve my general speaking skills, the camera and communication, which I think is the thing I need to improve the most on. So I'm just going to try to make lots of videos, like kind of like what you do. You just make lots of videos, and they're just all, yeah. There's like heaps of videos. Um, not
Yeah.
necessarily trying to make a few good ones. I'm just going to make garbage. So my plan is make garbage, make videos that I think people are going to watch, stuff like that. Yeah, and we'll see.
Yeah, what do you think makes it like an engaging YouTube video? Like I guess there's a lot of things that I watch a ton of YouTube videos on like how to make viral videos, but I don't necessarily try to make viral videos, but I'm interested in the subject. And like if something resonates, then I might add like a little aspect of that into my videos. Like in your opinion, like what do you think will get you views?
Um, Firstly, like thumbnail needs to not be obscure. Like honestly, I prefer the more obscure thumbnails, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think they get views. I don't think they haven't got views for me. And the most successful YouTubers have the more clickbaity type of thumbnails anyway, or the thumbnail of a photo of somebody or something going on. Seems to work. So if it works, don't fix what's not broken, I guess, or at least try to incorporate ideas of that. And then the title as well. Um, there's there's aspects. I mean, if you have a fan base that knows who you are, you can change your titles to be more related to what they know about you or what they know about the subject. But I think otherwise, a title that's like more obvious to the subject would be better. Like just an example, two of the videos I spent a long time editing was going down a rabbit hole, adventures of meditation, and the next title was attachment to images, adventures of meditation. Now, if somebody saw that, they're not going to have a clue what that means. They probably don't care. If I had a big fan base, they'd click on it. Like Frank Yang has pretty terrible titles, but it's fine because he's got a fan base. They know that every video is going to have a particular style. But for me, for example, I could rename those to um like why attachment to images is going to destroy your life or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then people are like,
exactly.
oh no way, what's this? And then have a
Yeah, yeah,
photo of like somebody like 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 crazy face, like there's all the shit that I don't necessarily like. I have some aversion to, like some natural aversion, but I don't know. I'm gonna maybe try it and see what happens. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, bro. It's like a captivating some sense of curiosity out of the title. Like it
Yeah,
makes people want to be like,
exactly.
Yeah, like I didn't even realize it, but like one of my videos, it was like I thought I attained stream entry, and like that one has over 1,000 views on it. But I'm pretty sure it's like it's literally just 24 minutes of me talking to the camera. But it's like that's a pretty curious title. Like, oh, like stream entry, you thought you attained something. Like, what is that?
Yeah, even my friend came
But
across and watched it. Yeah, he was like
really,
looking at it like, yeah, he was telling me about it. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
that's pretty funny, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's also like, I guess when it comes to the actual editing, like if you edit for engagement with things, it's like the sound quality, the mixing of the music, how you transition, if you keep people stimulated, if you have like J cuts in it, if you like, if it's really fast
What's a J
paced.
cut?
I want to say a J cut. Uh, there's a J cut and then another type of cut, and I could be mixing them up.
Hmm.
I think so. Okay, regardless, one of these is a J cut and one of these is the other type of cut. I'm not going to try to say which one is which, but one of them is like if you have like a clip that you're cutting, for example, you slide over the audio to continue from one clip to the next one. So like if I have this clip right here and then this is the next one, I'll take the audio from this clip and extend it over into the beginning of this one so there's not like,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
that like is a really subtle difference that makes a big difference. And then like for the viewer. And then the other one is like, you know, if I'm talking to the camera and then I take 3 seconds to think and then I talk again, it's just taking that 3 seconds out, right? So then
Yeah,
there's like,
yeah, I like to do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's like a lot of the really small things. There's this guy named Hillier Smith, I want to say. Um, he used to edit for Logan Paul and now he edits for Mr. Beast. And he makes videos for people about how to edit engaging YouTube videos. And his stuff
Yeah.
is like really good. Because
I
he's
think,
like, he's the
yeah, I've
best
seen this.
YouTube.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
guy's
yeah, yeah.
great.
Yeah. So like to me, and then Mr. Beast also says something. He was like, if you just make 100 videos and then improve upon one thing every single video, then
You're gonna
like and
improve.
you're getting traction after 100 videos, then you're fine. I was also reading something the other day that was like most people, I think on average people don't get their 1,000th subscriber until like 110 videos or something like that.
Wow,
So
really?
yeah, dude.
How many
So
am I
and
done? Yeah, damn. I've done 50. Damn. 50 more to go, bro.
you've done 50, you said?
Yeah, yeah. How many have you done? You've done
I think
over
I've done
100, surely. You've done so many.
nah, I
You
think I've
give him
only
like
done 80.
every couple of days, right?
Nah, because I'll go through big times where I don't upload, and that's probably my
Okay.
biggest problem.
By the way, when
Yeah.
you make like a really good video, like send it to me, just because I don't really monitor your channel because usually it's just you talking about your meditation. Um, but if you make like an edited video, like send it to me so I can actually watch the, important ones.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, now I don't do the meditation reflections anymore, bro. My
How
past
come?
four videos, huh?
How come?
Because I didn't want to meditate because I felt like I had to reflect on them afterwards. But then also, like, to me, it's just not as helpful to people or to myself, and it's not what I enjoy doing as much. Like the content I want to start making now is more so, um, like, okay, so I made one video recently, and I really like this one, and it was just like still, it was me. Actually, I think you might enjoy this. Here, I'll paste it in.
Yeah, with the
It was,
meditation reflection, how do you know what to
huh?
talk about? Because I feel like when I when I do meditation, like I thought about, okay, I'm going to do it, and then I did some meditation, and then I'm like, what do I reflect on? I felt energies moving through my body. I felt more focused. How do you talk about this for 10 minutes?
It's like once I start talking, I just don't stop talking. Like I think it's like writing a paper or writing an essay. It's like the first 3 words are the hardest, and then after that, you just keep going.
Right. I feel like you're just making stuff up at that point. When I meditate, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I know
You
stuff
just like,
happened. but I don't really know.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing about the meditation videos is I knew if I was going to reflect on it afterwards, then I would start getting future mind in the meditation, and I would start thinking about like,
What am I going to
how
talk
am I going
about?
to reflect on this
Yeah,
afterwards?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's a
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. But I think there maybe you've developed the skill that you can like conceptualize your experience better. But for me, when I meditate and stuff, um, and I guess that's why I can't I when people talk all these like Buddhist words and stuff, had different meditative states. I'm like, I don't know. Like, how would I even know if I'm in first jhana or second jhana or third jhana? I literally don't understand how people can figure it out. Because I'm just like experiencing stuff. And like maybe I haven't developed that skill yet or something.
well, that could be it. But then additionally, it's like, have you read all of Daniel Ingram's chapters about
Nah,
like the
not
jhanas
yet.
and
Nah, not yet. Maybe when I
yeah,
do, I'll have a better understanding. I think because
yeah,
a lot of the other texts are very non-precise in their definitions and stuff. So that could be it. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, dude, now I want my content to be centered more around wellness. So like I'll still talk about all the spiritual stuff, but I've met, I guess through like meeting and talking to more people that reach out to me off of the YouTube channel or want to do coaching or whatever it may be. I realized that like people tend to just ignore taking responsibility over things in their life, thinking that if they just get enlightened or if they meditate, then it'll fix everything.
That was
And it's
me
like,
for quite a while.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was me at one point in time as well. But it's like, no, like I realized that I'm like a very fit and active and healthy guy. I'm
Yeah, you
also like,
are.
building a business and I know how to do business. Like I'm getting a lot of key learnings about that. I'm very interested in like all aspects of wellness, like dancing, socializing with people, just like life in general, bro, like flexibility, stretching, and like sustainable systems and habits that people can start with easily. So I'm not going to be a subject matter expert in like weightlifting and optimizing for Olympic athletes and shit, but for the average person who has never lifted before, like I could give them really good advice on how to stick to a consistent like strength training routine or how to do exercise consistently and explain it in a way that resonates with people who are like somewhat spiritual or like are coming from a lens of meditation,
Mm.
but then also like it would be cool to attract people who aren't into meditation and then they find my meditation videos and get into it by that as well. So yeah, my whole brand is just going to be more so about like holistic wellness, like doing the things you want to do, how to accomplish your goals, how to be consistent in your habits, what habits I do, sharing about myself. Like there's a lot of stuff I want to do. And then as I make more money too, then I can just hire like a cameraman and hire an editor and pay them to, and I can just be like the creative director behind all of it. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to be like filming myself all the time and be a full time YouTuber. I want to do like my business stuff more so full time and then grow that. But until then, it's like, yeah, what's the best mix of things to eventually get myself to that point?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But I would love, dude, I would love having like a cameraman that just like follows me around and records and
Gary V
then
style, eh?
yeah, huh?
Gary V style. Yeah.
Yeah, but like more entertaining than that. Like a combination of like, okay, so I'll put it like this. You have the really entertaining YouTubers like, like the Mr. Beast and the Logan Pauls, right? And then you have like these really educational YouTubers, uh, like Gary V and stuff like that. Or Alex Ramosi. And I kind of want to marry the two and make really
Mm.
like engaging, funny, like entertaining content, but it's also quite educational and like
I like
inspiring
the
at the
sound
same
of
time.
that, hey. I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
How do you even
it'd
be
be
fun
cool.
in videos though that are educational?
Dude, that's just kind of like my demeanor in a lot of ways. Like,
You got to be a
it,
fun guy, basically.
I guess. I don't know, dude. I'm like, it's very interesting because the mind state that I'm in when I record my videos is usually like really contemplative and quite serious at times. But like, have you ever seen any of my like early videos?
Nah, I don't think so.
Dude, back when I was vlogging, dude, yeah, that those are actually funny as shit, bro. well, they're
I
not
saw
like
you on
actually
like
like super
running,
funny.
and then you put the camera down somewhere, and then you like walk down to the end. I remember that one. I
I
don't
gotta
know.
show you. This video is pretty funny, bro. Let's see. Copy link
I always
address. Here
loved the
we
video with Alexi and you. And just like I think it was the first video of you two together, and just like you guys are laughing at shit. It's hilarious. Really
go.
fun.
Dude, people have like there will be times where I post a YouTube video that is like not a podcast or anything, and somebody will comment and be like, "Make another podcast with Alexi." Like they love that dude, bro.
Yeah. He's so good. He's so funny.
He's also just like he's funny because he's like third path, but he's like very far along the path, but he knows like none of the concepts at the same time, and he's just like a goofy guy.
Oh wait, so he's not fully there yet because I remember I've only listened to the first one, a bit of the second one with him, I think. And wasn't he saying um that, or at least from that video you guys were like convinced he had obtained fourth path. So that's not the case anymore.
No, yeah, yeah. It turns out it was third path because
Ah, okay.
he said afterward, he said it was a crazy big shift, but then he said he realized there's still like a speck of solidity somewhere. Like he can still feel it at times and the center comes back at times. And that's kind of how like Frank described it as well. Is like second to third path is a huge shift, but he thought that he was there, maybe he was there third path, but then you know when you hit fourth path. And so Alexi was
Mm,
like, yeah, like no. And there's still some of the solidity that I feel at times. So
wow,
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, dude. Yeah, but if you watch the at some point in time, if you watch the video that I sent you, the one I just sent you, I kind of want to do a combination of like vlog style videos like that and like educational, like contemplative kind of content.
Oh, yeah, we'll do. Actually, your earlier videos look really interesting. You look
Yeah,
like
dude,
really edited, like you put a lot of effort into them and stuff.
I did edit them a lot. Yeah, like that's when I was learning how to do engaging that Hillier Smith guy. I discovered him then. I was watching a lot of like Casey Neistat videos, trying to copy him.
Yeah, I can see that
That was,
actually. You got the book
yeah,
thing, like um you
yeah.
look like Leonardo DiCaprio. The hair, like
Thank you, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was back when I had the middle part and the
yeah, it looks good on you actually.
yeah.
Mm.
I could see myself going back to that at some point. But yeah, dude, I just wanna oh, so for Buddy, I'm gonna be making like once school starts, and so we want to have an app out by the first day of class, and then I just want to market the shit out of it on campus. So for like the Buddy social media, I'll be making like trying to make viral content and do like it won't be meditative or contemplative at all. It'll just be like use Buddy or like little things we could do on campus, like race me and you'll get $10, or race me and if you beat me you'll get a free subscription to Buddy or something like that.
Mm.
And like that type of content, like just really engaging kind of like viral esque content. So that'll be interesting to see like how I do that as well by the time that comes. But that's also why I want another computer. So I realized with the funding money I get, I actually get a decent bit, which I'm very excited about. But the I can buy a MacBook and pay for it in monthly installments for a year. So I don't have to buy it all at once, which is super clutch.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I can pay like I don't have a car payment, and I could pay like $100 a month to get like an M2 MacBook Air for 15-inch, and I can edit videos on that all day, bro. So I'm actually really once I get my first batch of funding money, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm super excited because then I'll start editing like personal YouTube videos more. Now that I'm working, I've never worked this much in my life, bro.
Really?
So I'm, yeah, no, never. I've been like productive with my time, but around the time when I dropped out, I was like meditating at least an hour every day. I was doing yoga like 30 minutes a day, working out like an hour, hour and a half a day. I was reading multiple hours a day. So I was like productive and working. I would edit maybe an hour or two a day. But now my routine is very different. It's like I'll meditate 30 minutes to an hour. I'll work out 30 minutes to an hour. I'll stretch 15, 20 minutes. And then the rest of my day is basically just like working.
Hmm.
And then journal, maybe I'll journal or something. Yeah. And then I'll have meetings and shit as well. But yeah, like I've never, and then it's like every day I'm in the office. Now, I guess it's just having a legitimate office space that I can be at is really nice. And then, dude, I gotta send you a video or a photo of my bedroom right now, bro. Literally, you walk into my bedroom, it's just an empty room with a yoga mat, a pillow, and a blanket. That's my bed. That's what I sleep on.
Yes.
And then there's a meditation cushion and just like my books. And that's the only thing that are in the room.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I bought a meditation chair recently, which is like a wooden thing you put your legs under.
Oh, you got the bench, bro?
Yeah, the bench. Yeah.
No way. How do
Have you
you
used
like
them
that? I've
before?
always wanted to try a bench.
They're cool. It makes your back like very straight. Like it forces you to
Mm,
like sit in a particular posture. It's really nice. I haven't used it too
mm.
much though, to be honest, but it's good.
What's the longest you've like sat on the bench?
Oh, probably like half an hour.
Mm.
It's not
Yeah, I
long.
want to see how
I
comfortable it
felt
would
like it
be to
was
sit.
hurting my knees, so I put like a pillow under it. But then my legs were kind of elevated, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure if this is like bit good posture or not or what. But
Dude, posture is the worst fucking thing ever, bro.
yeah, do you practice mewing?
Do I practice what?
Mewing. Do you keep your
Mewing.
tongue? You know what mewing, right?
Uh-uh.
Do you keep? Yeah, well, you've got a really well-grown face, so I'm guessing naturally you keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, as the Buddha
Mm-mm.
described. Where's your tongue?
It's at the bottom.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's really bad.
Really, you're supposed to keep it on the roof?
Yeah, you want to keep on the roof. Here's
Why?
how well there's your teeth, right? And your teeth push it inward force. What does your tongue do, which sits between? It pushes it out. If you push your teeth in, it's going to start crowding. There's no space. That's why people have issues with, not a big enough face. They can't fit all their teeth. They get them pulled out, get braces and shit like that. It's terrible. If you practice good posture and you have your tongue on the roof of the mouth, it it pushes the face forward and upward, which grows the face. If you have your teeth to if you what are you laughing at? You don't believe me? Does it sound like some quack shit to you?
I can't believe I've never heard this before, bro.
I'll send you videos and I'm really passionate about it. But I basically
No.
wait, have you gotten any wisdom teeth out?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and your teeth look naturally straight. So I guarantee that as a child you develop the correct tongue posture, the correct swallowing patterns, and the correct you ate like had enough food and stuff to really grow your face out. However, if
This
you
is
can,
cool, bro.
sorry,
I said this is really cool. Like I love learning shit like this that I've never been told before.
yeah, if you continue keeping your tongue on the bottom, your teeth, your face is going to elongate and become longer. You'll look more ugly, and it's just not good for your health. Yeah, it's not good for your health. Don't do it. And then
Mm.
don't mouth breathe. I started taping my mouth at night. So you want to keep
Yeah.
not the tip. You don't want to be touching any teeth. You want to. Here's how you do it. Practice swallowing. Put your teeth together. Close your mouth, and then practice, and then swallow a couple times. When you swallow a couple times, your tongue will move to the top of your mouth automatically, and you create a vacuum seal. So you go. Can you do that?
Dude, how do you spell it? Is it MEW?
Yeah, MEWING.
Dude, I gotta look up this shit now,
I'll
bro.
send you some. I'll send you some videos on it, like some good videos, not like some fucking Google articles on it. Which
This is crazy. I just can't believe I've never heard of this before.
yeah. So look up this guy called Jaw Hacks on YouTube. He's probably the best There's a lot of clickbait videos on YouTube about it, but jaw hacks is probably the way to go. And I'll send you this video from um Mike Mew, who's like kind of the creator. Um, watch this one and then watch um.
This is wild.
I mean, it's not really an issue for you because you already have great facial form. But you know, if you want to retain it,
So what you're suggesting is
Dude,
so yeah, watch
Jordan
those two.
Jordan Peterson's daughter is so beautiful, bro.
Yeah, I mean, she also wears a lot of makeup and stuff, but she's definitely looks maxed herself to the maximum.
She definitely what?
She's definitely put a lot of work into making herself look good.
Mm. Bro,
And then watch
how
this.
bad?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, you got the jaw hacks this shit on lock, bro.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff about posture and like stuff like that. Um,
Wow.
yeah,
This
it's
is
good.
exciting, bro.
Yeah, it's a really interesting niche.
Wow,
I'm
this is
passionate
actually
about it.
crazy. Because I think I might actually be developing TMJ a little bit. So this might be good, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Probably because your tongue's not on the roof of your mouth. Because you have enough tongue
Mhm.
space. Actually, open your mouth. Let's see your palate. Now show you the top. Oh wow, your
Ah,
palate's like quite large. Yeah, you got size. And put yeah, nice. How big's your tongue? Put your tongue on the roof of the mouth. No, on the roof. Yeah, you got space. You got space.
cool, bro.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you want to retain that. You don't want to. If you don't have your tongue on top, it's going to lose it. But hey, even the Buddha in his instructions on meditation said your tongue should be on the roof of the mouth. Your tongue should be resting on the palate.
Mm.
So the Buddha knew that the tongue should be on the top.
Dude, if Uncle Sid said so, I have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Damn.
By the way,
Wow.
do you want to have a little meditation session with me, coaching session?
Sure, bro.
Cool. Oh, and then you can give me some feedback on how I can improve as well. Um,
Nope, never.
damn. Okay. Okay, I'll share my screen. Oh, you disabled participant sharing. You're gonna have to. By the way, how do you know you have Team J issues? Or are you developing them? Do you get soreness?
Recently, like within the past 2 weeks, I've gotten a little bit of jaw soreness, and I've
Really?
been curious. Yeah.
Okay, put your pinkies in your ears, and then open your mouth wide, and then basically if you know, okay, now come back to the room. So if you notice any pushing out on your pinkies, can you hear me by the way? Or you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can move it in. Okay. If you notice any pushing out on your pinkies, I think that's like an indicator that
Mhm.
you have an issue. Or if you notice like cracking or popping,
Yeah, there's a
like
little bit of cracking and popping as of recent.
yeah, I get it too. So that's like indication that there's some TMJ issue, I guess. Like not really an issue yet, but hey, in the future it could be. But
I'll
actually,
have
like,
to start my tongue on the roof, bro. I'll have to
yeah,
start.
bro,
I'll have to.
yeah, 100%. But you know, like, sleep apnea is going to be the biggest issue. Like, if I had to predict one thing that's going to like fuck over society, it's going to be sleep apnea because we've had all the, you know, progressively our faces have become smaller and smaller and more recessed. People are breathing through their mouths, not their noses anymore. Like, especially when they sleep. And so they just don't have enough space really, and the airways are pretty blocked. Also, you've got like all these pollutants and allergens and things like that. So people are mouth breathing more. But yeah, sleep apnea is going to be huge. Like we're going to be like one of the first generations where like a large percentage of people have sleep apnea. Sleep apnea results in degradation of IQ. you also lose about 10 years of your life. So we're going to see massive industry now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If there's one place I'd want to invest in, it'd be like on sleep.
Dang, bro. This is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, fuck all that meditation shit.
Fucking enlightenment, bro. We just want good sleep.
Yeah. Okay, there's so many tabs.
How many tabs do you have open,
you don't
bro?
need to see these. You don't need to see them. Yeah, cool. Oh, okay. How do I close friend this? Can I close friend it? Yeah, you can see it. Cool. So basically, I'll go guide you through how I do a coaching session with somebody. I've only done 3 coaching sessions so far, but I want to improve what I'm doing. And it's basically focused around like letting go of emotions, not insight practice. It's not like becoming more awake or woke, because nobody cares about that, like unless you're kind of crazy. Um, so it's more about like having a better experience, you know. So let's start with a little exercise. Do you have like a pen or pencil or like object on your table? What's that? It's a
A
watch. Okay,
watch.
cool. Yeah. So hold that in front of you and then grip it really tightly, like really tightly. Pretend this is one of your limiting feelings and that your hand represents your gut or your consciousness. If you held the object for long enough, this would start to feel uncomfortable yet familiar. Now open your hand and roll the object around in it. Notice that you are the one holding it. It's not attached to your hand. The same is true with your feelings. Your feelings are as attached to you as this object is attached to your hand. We hold on to our feelings and forget that we are holding on to them. It's even in our language. When we feel angry or sad, we don't usually say, I feel angry or I feel sad. Often we say, I am angry or I am sad. So without realizing it, we are misidentifying what we are feeling. And often we hold on to stuff for so long that it feels so familiar that we don't even realize we can let go of it. Often we believe a feeling is holding on to us. This is not true. We are always able to let go and just don't know it. Now hold it in front of you. And I want you now to let the object go. What happened?
It dropped, bro. I'm not
Yeah,
holding on to it anymore.
that's right. You let go of it and it dropped. Was that hard?
Nope.
And that's the same thing as what we mean when we say let go or release. And you can do the same with any emotion. You just choose to let it go. Sticking with the same analogy, if you walk around with your hand open, wouldn't it be very difficult to hold on to the pen or the watch, right? Likewise, when you allow or welcome the feeling, you are opening your consciousness, and this enables the feeling to drop away all by itself, like clouds in the sky. It's as though you are removing the lid from the pressure cooker. So when I use the word welcome, I'm saying let the emotions be there, allowing the emotions to rise to the surface with open arms, like you welcome a friend instead of pushing it down. Don't try to fight the emotions or suppress them. By letting them be there, they will run its course. You may feel a small increase in negative emotions before they are released as you process them. And furthermore, don't worrying about trying to fight all the emotions or suppress them. If you um if you try to suppress, trying to suppress it, that's also suppression. So just allow that to be there as well. Here's a cool quote. When we see the river, we are out of the river. When we see the mountain, we are out of the mountain. And likewise, when we can see that emotion, we are no longer that emotion, we're out of that emotion, even if we might see it there in front of us. Now, if you took your watch and magnified it large enough, it would appear more and more like empty space. You would be looking into the gaps between the molecules and atoms. When you dive into the very core of a feeling, you observe a comparable phenomenon. Nothing is really there. As you get better at processing, as you get better at the process of releasing, you will discover that even your deepest feelings are just on the surface. In fact, even our most extreme feelings have only as much substance as a soap bubble. And you know what happens when you poke your finger into a soap bubble, right? It pops. And that's exactly what happens when you dive into the core of a feeling. Lastly, as you focus on your object, you will notice that it's defined by its opposites. In other words, the reason you can perceive the object is because of the space around it. Without space, there can be no contents. Emotionally based problems and feelings are defined or held together by opposites as well. We have good and bad, right and wrong, happy and sad, love and hate, to name a few. When we perceive something as good or desirable and something as bad or undesirable, we emotionally crave the desired outcome and emotionally push away what we perceive as bad. And these dualities or sides of the coin cause us to suffer because we're clinging to one. We really want something to happen. We really don't want something else to happen. And so we're in a state of non-acceptance and resisting what is. And this is true in all areas of our life. We really resist things and we really want things to happen. And it often feels necessary to resist. And we feel like we have to push or effort or really or strive. And we feel like that's helpful as well. But this resistance actually takes us away from the present moment, which impairs our results. And the attachment to seeing things through labels as well causes us to suffer. Now, this middle way is to see things for what they really are without the concepts, the labels, and the ideas. And here we dissolve the duality and the suffering created from creating the good and pushing away the bad ceases. And this is the purpose of meditation, to see reality for what it really is, not what you want it to be. And the more you can do that, the more you'll find life starts to flow and becomes more natural and effortless. And then, even in your darkest moments, the emotions will only be as solid as a cloud passing by in the sky. One moment it is there, the next moment it has vanished. Yeah, so okay. So this is the Sedona method, to put it simply, which is a series of 3 questions you would ask yourself while practicing meditation. So the first one would be you would first bring up to mind something you want to let go of. And with that, you'd notice these sights and sensations and feelings and things rise to the surface. And you just be really present with that. And on its own, the emotions can start to release. But it can be really helpful to ask these questions, which is the first one being, could I let this feeling go? Now, when you ask yourself, could I let this feeling go? It makes you realize the possibility that you can let this go. Often we feel often we don't even realize we can let go of something. So you ask yourself, could I let this go? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I could let this go. Wow, interesting. I could let it go. It makes you realize you can. The next question is, would I let this feeling go? Because you could do something, but would you actually do it? That's a different, right? Often we feel like we could do it, but then we feel like we can't actually do it. So then you ask yourself, would I let this feeling go? You answer yes or answer no. And the important part is to be really honest. If you feel like you can't let the emotion go, just say no. Finally, when? When would I let this go? This allows you to redirect back to the present moment and to realize that often we want to let go of an emotion or something in the future. But when you ask yourself when, it's like, well, there's only now. So now I will let go of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. We'll do a release, a simple release. I'll guide you through a meditation. Is there anything that you've been stressed about in your life recently? Any emotion? It could be around people. It could be. Don't have to tell me specifics, but like, if there's anything that has anything come to mind?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds.
It's been 3 seconds, bro.
Shit. Okay, I want you to close your eyes. And just be here as you are right now. And just focus in on your body. And I want you to bring to mind a situation that has caused you some negative emotions that you want to let go of. And I want you to welcome the pictures, sensations, and sounds that arise when you think of this pattern. Welcome as well the labels, the stories, the judgments, and the conclusions. Any concepts that arise with or as the spin of energy. And could I let this go? So you can answer back to me, yes or no. Could I let this go? And by the way, you answer yes or no to the questions. So could I let this go? You say back to me yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Would I let this go?
Yes.
When?
Now.
And once again, welcome whatever energy remains. welcome any resistance, any desire to do anything with this issue, including wanting to get rid of it or change it, or wanting to hold on to it or make it real. Welcome any attachment or aversion to the issue. You may even recognize that wanting to do something is simply part and parcel of more of the same spin of energy. So just welcome with open arms and let it be here. And could you let this go?
Yes.
Would you let this go?
Yeah.
When?
Now.
Allow yourself to welcome any sense that this whole issue is personal, that it's about you or who you are. Any sense of me or mine, them or theirs, just welcome that. And could you let this go?
Yes.
Would you let this go?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Allow yourself to welcome what is beyond the spin of energy, or what the spin is appearing in or on. So welcome what's beyond this. And do you find that any negative emotions still remain about this issue?
Nope.
Okay. You can come back to the room when you're ready. How did you find that?
The meditation or the whole thing?
Oh, we'll talk about meditation and then, yeah.
Meditation was cool. Um, it's weird. I like never speak when I meditate, so that was fun.
Yeah. I feel like you dropped the emotion very quickly.
Yeah,
I would
things are
say,
pretty
sorry?
impermanent in my.
Yeah,
Things are pretty like impermanent. Yeah.
yeah. I um I think as you progress further on the path, you drop it so quickly anyway that um the releasing questions don't even matter. Like just welcoming it's enough. But for many people, asking those could you, would you, when questions can be really like groundbreaking actually.
Yeah. 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 What makes you say that you thought that I dropped it pretty quickly?
Um, because with other people, I feel really strong negative emotion.
Mm,
When I'm doing these sessions, I feel what they feel. I'm not trying to feel what they feel. I can just feel it at the core. You could call that like a power city or whatever.
yeah.
I've noticed I've developed that. For you, the only thing I noticed is like, and this could have just been me, might not have been you, but and I hadn't felt that before, but a lot of like third eye pressure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that just
it was subtle even to begin with. Like there wasn't a lot of negativity to feel at the beginning anyways.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's because you've got a lot of like higher chakra energy. So I was just feeling that energy in particular. But for example, I might feel it in like burning in my solar plexus chakra region, burning in my lower chakras. That's usually where you feel it. Like there's a process that asks questions about people, releasing negative emotions about people. And pretty much everybody I've had a session with has had issues with people. And so I've always done that process in them, which is ask questions about like many, many questions about control, approval, safety, security, and separation. And those have been, um, yeah, usually you feel those emotions in those negative, those lower regions of the body. Yeah. But for you, like I
Right.
could just tell, like you dropped it quick. Plus, you didn't think about when I asked you, would you let this go? It's not uncommon for somebody to spend time thinking about it. Like, would I let this go? And they don't want to. They feel a lot of resistance to letting it go.
Yeah.
And they might even say no to the question. And then you have to circle back and work on something else or work on a smaller piece of the puzzle to let go of those things before we can let go of the bigger attachment. Yeah.
Mm. That's pretty interesting, bro.
Hmm. Is there a big issue you have in your life or like a relationship thing or something you want to let go of that we can try out? Like what's the most from that? Do you have anything like super traumatic we can work on for fun? If you
Let
want
me
to.
think, bro. Yeah, no, I would love to. Let me think about it.
Or we can it doesn't have to be like a real situation, but we can make up something that would trigger you. Like if you know that would trigger you, you can think about that trigger. Like what really triggers you, you know?
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question, bro, because a part of the reason why I said I get really excited when things trigger me earlier is because there are no like identifiable triggers that I have now. So then when something
Wow.
comes, it's like it surprises me.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so cool. Yeah. I think yeah, that makes
So
you
that's
have a
where I
really
get
good
happy.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm a really positive, happy person, bro. Like I never realized that until
Yeah.
because I used to
Yeah.
think that that game is like a byproduct of like attaining path moments and stuff
No,
like that.
no.
But yeah, because then I met Alexi, and Alexi was like, he's like, dude, you're too happy, and I was like, what do you mean, bro? So yeah, that's when I kind of started to make the connection that those two things aren't necessarily like correlated. Like obviously, like suffering, like I get deep, intense like periods of suffering at times. Just like really randomly, like as it pertains to like the meaning of experience and
Mm,
why am I here and
uh,
inquiring about
existential stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But when it comes to like life stuff, nah, dude. Like I'm really blessed, bro. Like a year ago, I had no money, no job. I was in debt. I wasn't working on anything. I didn't have any work that I was excited about. Like my relationships with family weren't as good as they are now. So it's like, dude, I'm just like so grateful for everything that I have now.
That's
I think
awesome.
that's like earlier we were talking about gratitude earlier, and now it's like I said, why not? Because it's like uh just feels good to be grateful. But it's easy for me to
Mm,
be grateful now when like I had felt so much worse previously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I think because um I've felt a lot of negative emotions, the idea of gratitude, because I'm used to hearing people say, just be grateful, bro. It's kind of like it's kind of
Mm,
annoying, you know? Like I think gratitude should come out spontaneously. And if it does, that's great. But I'm not gonna try to make myself feel grateful. Because I feel like when you try to make yourself feel grateful, it's kind of like shaming yourself for not feeling grateful. Like for me, I guess
uh,
where I am right now, I'd rather allow myself to just feel whatever I'm feeling, including the lack of feeling grateful, which I think is perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. I would say like a nice middle way between those two approaches is almost just like if you set out, like for example, right now, if I were to ask you, are you grateful for anything? Or like
I'm grateful for the school.
for what?
The school. It's been really fun.
Okay, what makes you grateful? Like yeah, why do you say you're grateful for the call?
I feel like my mind's expanded. Like we've talked about so many interesting topics that I wouldn't usually talk about with people. And I feel really good as well. Yeah.
Mm. When you say you feel good, describe the feelings.
I feel like a warmth in my heart, my chest.
Mm.
I feel like happy. It's
Is
nice.
that a feeling you're grateful for as well?
Yeah. I think I understand gratitude now. I think I understand it. um, let me explain. Let me explain.
Yeah, yeah.
Gratitude is simply the recognition of the positive aspects, right? That's all it
Yeah.
is. And
No,
so
it is.
and so I realized I was being grateful, but I don't think I was calling it gratitude. And I was being grateful in my negative experiences recently by being like, yeah, I'm releasing this finally, or like, yeah, this is good that this is happening, or like, or having a really negative experience and then seeing the positive aspect in it. And that's been something I didn't do for ages. And it was only recent where I made that shift, which is like realizing you can be positive, like realizing you can choose to be positive. Like nobody told me
Mhm.
this. And especially in the whole spiritual community, just like, oh, allow whatever to come up. So I was just allowing whatever. And I didn't
Yeah,
realize you can also redirect your attention to certain things, and they can actually be really beneficial too. So
yeah, yeah,
redirecting my attention to positives. A really cool analogy, which I always have in my mind. It's like, let's say you're feeling like negative emotions, 99% negative, 1% positive. I now think of it like that positive thing is like a flame, like a spark. And that spark or that flame is going to grow and grow and grow until it becomes a huge bonfire. And so instead of criticizing the spark and like therefore putting it out, just notice, wow, I have a little flame. I got a little flame. I got it. And that little flame is
yeah,
going to grow and grow. Um, so those are the two things that have been um, I've been introspecting on. But yeah, it's as you said, I'm probably not naturally as grateful person because I don't focus on the positive as much. So this is a really interesting idea. I might talk about it in another video. What is gratitude? Gratitude is like that choice to focus on something in particular. Yeah.
yeah. Have you read MCTV, the chapter on morality?
Nope.
That might be a really nice chapter for you to read, bro.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I think you'd really, because Daniel Ingram really like he basically says you don't need to be a positive person to be on the spiritual path, but if it's
Mm,
like it's gonna take years and years for most people to like hit awakening, and it just makes it so much easier. Like it's just so much more of a fun path when you're positive rather than negative.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me many years to realize that. Nobody told me. And I watched thousands of spiritual videos.
Yeah, dude. Gratitude's kind of like a superpower in my opinion. But it's interesting because I used to like force myself to be grateful for things in a way, like actively take the time to say, okay, 10 minutes tomorrow, I'm going to do a gratitude exercise, or I'm just going to sit down and write the things that I'm grateful for. And now I've realized that it's become a habit. Like every day I lay down to go to sleep, and like at random times throughout the day, but especially every night before I go to bed, immediately just the thought pops into my head like, oh, I'm just so grateful to exist. And then like more thoughts of gratitude kind of pop in. And then I go
Fuck
to bed
yeah.
nice,
I
feeling
love
good.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's awesome. By the way, feedback on my coaching.
Yeah. 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 Okay, cool. So I enjoyed how you went about the guided meditation at the end. That was nice. And then I enjoyed that you had slides as well. That was cool. But I did feel like there was like I was being talked at instead of being talked with. So
Mm,
it was like a college lecture rather than something that was engaging. And so it's like
mm,
I'm just listening to you talk, and my mind could wander about something if it wanted. Like I heard everything that you said, and I was engaged, but
yeah,
I would imagine I have better concentration than most people. Um,
yeah, it's true.
and there's also like a willingness to want to listen to you at the same time, just to give you feedback as well, and to see you. Like I was just curious about the session itself. I think a lot of people, like I've been learning about like pitching to VCs and stuff for the startup. And they're like, yeah, you get maybe 1 minute of their attention max at the beginning of
Mm,
your pitch. And after that, they can start to mind wander and things of that nature. So I think if you found a way to make it more interactive and almost like more flowy and natural, like when you had the slides, were you just talking to talk, or were you reading off of something?
I was reading off it for the most part, not all of it, but a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell that you were reading, and that kind of made it feel almost not as like authentic.
Okay. So I
Like
made
if you were like if the presentation went differently every time, and you were just to like use the words as a guide to see how you naturally speak about the topic rather than reading off of something, I think it might flow better. Um, if you were to ask me more questions, like for example, like letting go, at the what does it mean for me to let go? Like, what do I think of when I think of letting go? Do you think I can let go? I think I can let go of emotions? Yada yada yada.
mm,
Um, and then I also think when you're not reading off of something, it makes it much easier for you to get enthusiastic and passionate about it. So I think that might have been lost a little bit as well. Because I know that you care about these things, and I know that you're enthusiastic and passionate about spirituality and whatnot.
yeah.
But I don't think that through as much because it was like you were reading off of something rather than just like letting that energy build and like intuitively just getting excited about talking about what you're teaching.
Yeah, I see.
Because that's like really infectious and contagious when somebody's very like passionate and excited about something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Interesting. Mm,
But I thought it was great, bro. I mean, it's cool. Like when somebody pulls out a presentation, it's like, oh, you've put time into preparation for this, which is just admirable and drives a sense of respect as well. So I
yeah.
enjoy that. Like I've never had any sort of presentation or deck or anything like that for my YouTube videos or for coaching, and I've thought about that recently. So it was cool to like see that you actually had that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Is
Cool.
there anything I could change with the slides? Were the first few fine, or it was I'm not
Yeah,
really
dude.
good
I
at
think
things like this, to be honest.
yeah, dude. I mean, I think it's more about the content and the engagement and the
Okay.
like. Yeah, like you could have really pretty aesthetic looking slides and maybe cool, but it's like I think the slides just serve as a way for you to uh, guide the conversation in some way, shape, or form.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah, like the
true.
slides are more so a tool for you than a tool for the audience, I would say.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I thought about it, but I think I'm going to lose people on the slide talking about
You think what?
non-duality. I think I'm going to lose a lot of people on the slide.
Oh yeah, I would agree. It was quite the jump from like letting go of emotions to fucking like non-duality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't really bridged well, but I think it's so complicated, to be honest, for somebody that doesn't have a background in non-duality that it needs to be scrapped. Yeah.
Yeah, usually the way that I introduce non-duality to people is like dependent origination most of the time. So, or even from the perspective of yeah, actually my segue into non-duality always comes with just talking about how there only exists like the present moment, right? So
Yeah.
if I may say like, all we have is the now, for example, and then really make sure that they're understanding the concept that all there is the present moment. So to say you can think about the past, but the past isn't happening right now. It's literally only existing as a fairy tale or a fantasy within your mind,
Yeah.
and the future literally does not exist either. once it comes, it is the now, and once the past happened, when the past was happening, that was also the now. And so
Mm.
any thoughts about the past or the future are also coming into the now. So like just really driving it home to them that the only thing that ever exists is the now, right? And so then I can start talking about non-duality by saying, you could try to label this moment as good, right? But you can only label this as good to have something bad to compare it to. So if you say this moment of me and you talking is good, and you use that as a reference to say, oh, well, because yesterday I had a moment and that wasn't as good as this, so it was bad. I'm going to remind you that that moment yesterday literally doesn't exist. So, how can this moment be good if you're comparing it to something that doesn't exist? This moment is just what it is. And that's how you start to like, I guess, and then it's like more interactive, I guess, the way that I speak to people. So then it's like seeing how they react to that, so on and so forth. But if you can really drive home that like
Mm.
comparison only exists with the implication of past and future, and past can only exist with the presence of future, and future can only exist in the presence of past, but the only thing that's here is the now. So you can't compare anything because there is literally just this. How can this be bad if the only thing to compare it to is really this from an absolute level? It's
Mm.
not good or bad, it's just what's here. How can this be uh yeah. I mean, shit like that. Yeah, better or worse than anything else when the only thing is this. Everything else is just simply existing within the mind. So, like, all these dualities exist as a tool for the mind to communicate with for like very practical things, but on like an absolute level, there's just this. And it's neither good nor bad. It's just what's here. You can't change what's here. You can't label it as good. Good compared to what? What you ate for dinner yesterday? That's not happening now.
Mm.
This food is so good. This chicken is the best food I've ever had. What do you mean? Have you ever had any other food? How do you know that? It's not here, is it? It's just existing in your head. It's just in the mind. Like really driving it home to people that all of these stories, all of these narratives, all of these ideas about past and future and good or bad are only existing as fairy tales inside of the mind. But if you just truthfully examine what's here, your dinner from yesterday isn't here. Your mom isn't here. Your dad isn't here. That TV show you watched yesterday isn't here. That girl on Instagram that you find cute isn't here. What's here is this. It's me and you on this Zoom call. That's the only thing that there is.
Bro, that's wild. That's a mind fuck, eh?
Yeah.
I love how you explained that.
That's all from the power of now, bro.
Really. That's a really good
Yeah. Like,
explanation.
yeah. I would say, like, the power of now is the okay, so to help people get through like emotional shit, I'll recommend them like The Four Agreements or The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And then if I feel like they're kind of past the emotional shit, like being able to realize that everything is a projection and like there's no need to take anything personally, and judgments that we have about ourselves are really, or judgments that we have about other people are really just like projections of judgments we have about ourselves, yada yada yada. Then I recommend them The Power of Now after that. But that's also just because that's the path that I ended up following. Like those were the first like three books that I read on the spiritual path. But The Power of Now, I feel like just so clearly articulates like very like poetically, but also very logically. So it kind of caters to both sides of the people that like, dude, the only thing that exists is this moment. Everything else is just chatter in the mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good book. I do like it.
Yeah. And that makes it easy to segue into like non-duality stuff because it's like, oh, comparison exists because
Mm.
there's this idea of a past or future. Like, how can you have anything to compare this moment to? You can't.
Mm.
So then all dualities start to get erased in the present moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the feedback. It was actually really helpful. Especially with the because I recognized I was reading off the slides and stuff like that, but I needed somebody to tell me that. Something
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
wrong with like how I was presenting, but I couldn't really. I don't know. Didn't really want to look at it, look at the reasons why, and like fix it. So it's good to be told that.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll be excited to take you through a coaching session at 1.2.
To take what, sorry?
To do a coaching session with you and get feedback on your end.
Yeah, I'll be super keen. I'm really curious about how you do it, and I'm probably going to learn a lot. Um, just yeah, about how to
I
be coached
actually,
and go so.
most of my So most of the time when I went to coach people previously, it was just like they would hop on a call and I picked my brain about what mindfulness. Like I would just start like, what is mindfulness to you? It was always just mindfulness coaching, and then I'd
Yeah.
articulate like how to see what mindfulness is, how to use mindfulness. I think that's usually the anchor that I start with. But I'm actually pretty excited. I got my first like legitimate coaching client, who like found my Stripe Calendly and like paid me $30, and I have his contact information, and it's like now I can like really dedicate somebody's paying me now. There's like an incentive to
Mm,
really like
fuck
motivate
yeah!
myself to do a good
Is this
job.
your
Yeah,
first paid client?
yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and it's cool too because like I asked him, I was like, "What's been the most profound spiritual book that you've read?" And then he gave me a book, so now I can order the book and read the book and like talk about it in terms of like
His
what resonates with him the most.
yeah,
So
sick.
it's like helping me get exposed to other spiritual teachings, but at the same time, like it's helping me be a better coach as well. I
Mm,
actually I've been when you called, I was working on designing my new website.
really?
Um,
Let's take a look.
yeah, it's not here. Let me find it. I abandoned the WordPress one and I'm gonna make a Squarespace one because Squarespace is so much easier, bro.
Really? Okay. I need to get a website or something, eh?
Huh?
I need to get a website or something. Yeah, I made a Facebook coaching account. And just post on there now recently.
Oh, cool.
But also at the same time, I feel like I don't want to be like a Facebook coach. You know, there's so many Facebook coaches out there.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's not the
understand,
best
bro.
way to like market, but it's a way to get in front of a lot of people if you don't have like an outlet like YouTube or you're not popular on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice to bring people to where you are. Um, fuck. Dude, I'm still trying to figure out how this whole Squarespace thing fucking works though. I
Really?
accidentally I made the whole website and then forgot to save it, so then I remade it again and I was pissed. And I think hopefully I didn't just do that again. Let's see. My computer's also very okay. Here we go. No, I didn't. I'm just trying to figure out how to get the link to the website. Um, because then I could share it with you. That's what I've been trying to do.
Hmm.
What the hell, bro? It says it's published here. I'm just gonna. Okay, yeah, here we go. Tell me what you think so far. I need to add. I'm hanging out with somebody tomorrow, and they're gonna take pictures of me to upload to the website.
Nice. I can't open it. I need to log in apparently. Can you share your screen?
Oh, one sec. It was because
It's not public.
no, it's I gave you the configuration one, so I was trying to get you to go to the editing page instead of the actual page. See if this works. I'll get it to the point where I can just transfer my domain over to it.
Oh,
So I have
it
W.
says private site.
Oh, really, Brad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gross. Okay, yeah, I'll just share my screen then.
Yeah, nice.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, let's see pages. Oh, actually, yeah, let me just go into edit. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, mindfulness-based approach to wellness, my name. book a free discovery call, and then the button you can book
Yeah,
there.
nice.
More about Joe,
Wow, it was
coaching.
180K job offer. Was that for
Yeah, dude.
graduate position?
Yeah, after graduation, bro.
No way. They pay a lot. I'm not even close to that. And I've been working for like 3, 4 years.
That was total comp. But
That's still
yeah,
pretty good. That's, I mean, I guess you earn more in America, so
yeah. And then I have my testimonials, bruh. And then follow me on socials and then contact. Like super simple. But
yeah.
it's like everything. It has my coaching. People can learn more about me if they want. And then tomorrow I want to write a blog post that has my
Looks,
approach to coaching on it.
yeah,
And I can
nice.
link it to that.
Looks nice and
Yeah.
modern, but honestly, I prefer your old style in a few ways. It's just really simplistic. Like it's simply laid out, easy to follow. It's not like this modern design of like, a modern page where it's like things are going on, like different layouts and stuff. Like I feel like it's too much. Like I just like the
The new one.
simplicity. I like the simplicity of like boring nothing, just giving the information. But that's just me.
Mm. Yeah, dude, that's an interesting point. It's also like edits on this one are just so much easier, bro. Like I was able to build out that whole thing in like an hour versus the WordPress one. If I wanted to redo a page or anything, it would take me forever.
Hmm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have your website link in the descriptions of your page, do you? How do I find it? What's it called? Your old one.
What? Oh, here.
But yeah, you
It's
should
just
put
Joe
your
Niemchak.
website link in the description if you have a website.
Of
Get
my like what YouTube videos?
Yeah, and your interviews and videos and stuff.
Yeah, I usually do that. I didn't do it for the last ones though.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, did he watch did he end up watching any of my last videos? Not my last ones, the ones I linked to you, I think. With that edited style?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. The You sent me those what like a few weeks ago, right? It
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
anytime
one of them
recently,
was like
right?
non-duality explained, and another was something else.
Here, let me see. I can tell you which one I remember watching a couple of them that you sent me, but I don't know if they were the most recent ones or not.
Don't worry about the recent ones, those are all shit. I'm referring to the edited ones. I think it's experiencing difficulties on the
Oh,
meditation path and permanence, it will pass. And then non-duality explained, probably one of those.
yeah, I watched Non-Duality Explained, and
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I watched Experiencing. No, I did watch Experiencing Difficulty Something, but yeah, I watched both of those.
Oh, cool. What did you think of the videos and how could I improve it?
Um, yes. Okay, so from what I can remember from them, without wanting to watch them again, um, like general cinematography things, like steadiness of camera, like transitions, like framing things. So like if you have like let's see here, like here, I'm gonna take a photo of you right now, and I'm gonna take another photo of you. Like filling the frame with things. So if you see that, like if I say that's a picture of you, that's not a very good picture of you.
No.
Like that is a much better picture of you because you're filling the whole frame there.
Right. So you're saying
And then
like,
like yeah, and then like using the rule of thirds. So you're like in the middle of the frame, having the subject in like one of the thirds basically, up or down. That's pretty good. Um
right.
and
Like,
then yeah, just like general audio things as well. Like uh, mixing. I forget if you had music in it or not, but
yeah, I
just
did.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like mixing good volume between the music and the speaking and all of that stuff as well. Um, and then I forget how quality the flow of ideas was. But I think like that also just comes, everything just comes with time, really. But yeah, like I think finding a way to let the ideas flow like logically and naturally is like very challenging when you talk about these more complex subjects.
Yeah, they definitely are, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But overall I enjoyed it. Like I really do think that like if you just get in front of a screen and you edit videos over and over and over again,
You get a lot
then
better.
like they just
Yeah,
get better.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my plan right now, is just to put out garbage and just keep making videos and not worry
Yeah.
about it. And then just see how I improve in my speaking. That's probably the most important thing. And then second would be editing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, bro. And it's like find if you find people whose content you like, literally take like 30 seconds of one of their videos and just try to copy the shit out of it. Like same angles, same general things, same whatever. Like figure out why you like it. Is it the cadence of like 2 second cut, 2 second cut, 1 second cut, 5 second cut, 5 second cut, 3 second cut? Like what is it about that specific segment or that specific video that resonated with you or that you liked? And then like just copy it, because
Mm.
you're never gonna like copy it as well as the person did it,
Nah.
or the same way. Like it'll be your
Yeah.
own thing by
It'll
the
still be
time you start
different.
copying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that that's the recommendation for starting off on YouTube, is don't try to do something unique. Just copy what other people do that's successful. And then you're going to build your
yeah,
own talent and flavor over time.
yeah,
Rather than, I think
yeah,
what I've tried to do was be unique, but it's like too obscure. Um, so now moving back into like something that's more commonly seen on YouTube, styles that are commonly seen, and then the uniqueness will come out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to like really start editing videos again and then posting them. But that's the other thing I'm realizing is I've like done a lot of experimental things with my YouTube channel in terms of like seeing what grows the channel and what doesn't, so on and so forth. I really think if I just sat in front of my camera and had like a relevant topic to talk about and just talked about it for 10 to 15 minutes, uploaded that every single day, I would get crazy channel growth. So I want to play around with that. I want to talk to my editor, but then, yeah, I also, once my new computer comes in, just want to like record video for 10 to 15 minutes and then edit for like 10 to 15 minutes. So spend what, 30, 40 minutes like
Yeah.
on YouTube a day, and then just pump out like, or even make 2 videos a day every day and then post one a day. So then, and then get ahead on my posting schedule.
What would you talk about though in your videos? Like, yeah.
Dude, I could talk about a lot of shit. Like the last video I took, it was actually crazy. So there was this guy in a Discord channel that I was in, and I mentioned something about like the 3 characteristics, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Can you explain them to me?" So I literally just like propped up my phone, filmed a video, and I was like, "Okay, there's the 3 trainings. There's morality, concentration, and insight. Brief
Mm.
explanation of those." And then I went like really deep into the 3 characteristics, and then just posted it on YouTube and then sent him the YouTube link.
Yeah.
And I got really positive feedback on YouTube from it. They were like, this is the first time Buddhism has ever made sense to me. This is a great guide for beginners, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, all of these concepts that I'm used to stringing together, like there's so many of those things that I've never like posted on YouTube that I could do. So for example, like I could do a YouTube video on morality by itself. I could do a YouTube video on concentration by itself. I could do a YouTube video on jhanas by themselves. I could do a YouTube video on insight practice. I could do a YouTube video on my understanding of noting. I could do a YouTube video on true self versus no self. I could do a YouTube video on calisthenics and the best way to start being consistent with your gym routine. I could do a YouTube video on how to get protein in for a cheap way every
Mm.
single day. I could do a YouTube, like there's an endless amount of ideas in my head. Like if I just spent a couple minutes planning it to get a rough outline and then just started talking to a camera, I think I could actually gain like a lot of subscribe. Like I want to hit this 1,000 subscriber mark and then just go from there. But I
Mm.
think the only thing stopping me from 1,000 subscribers is honestly just like consistently posting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
shit like that. Yeah.
That's really
But
interesting.
it'll be easier and more fun once I get like an actual computer that I can edit on and have fun editing on and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And I should be getting my money for the accelerator program within the next week or two. So I'll just get my
Yeah.
computer then and then plug away.
Hmm. Nice, nice. Yeah. I think for me, um, I don't know. I struggle to think of like things to talk about, or if I do, like I've got some ideas. I feel like I need to like do a lot of prior research and like explain it precisely and very well, and have a script and things
Yeah.
like that. And put like work into like really figuring it out compared to just like doing it ad hoc. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I've struggled with the same things. I think for me, it's just there's less resistance doing it ad hoc. So, and it comes from like, if you just have a habit of consistently learning about shit and then like talking to friends or other people about the shit that you learn about, naturally it's like, oh, I actually know a lot of stuff. Like you probably know more than enough now. You just think it's like common knowledge or whatever it may be. Like the Sedona method, for example. Like you could easily just like prop up your camera and talk about the Sedona method for 8 minutes and then post that on YouTube. Like,
Yeah, true, true.
yeah. So it's like you know way more shit than you probably think you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, and that's probably the biggest thing. It's like the way that I kind of think about it is what circulates my mind frequently and then just upload that on YouTube. Because and then if I haven't made a YouTube video about it and it's something that I've thought about a lot, just throw it on YouTube. Because it's like with YouTube, it doesn't matter. Like if one of your videos doesn't hit, who cares?
yeah. It's so
Like,
good that YouTube's like that, eh? It's like every video is a
yeah,
unique video that gets recommended specifically to different people based on watch
exactly.
time. I love it.
So it's like even if I have thoughts, for example, on like diet and why I do diet, like just vulnerability videos as well. Like my thoughts on weed in the spiritual path, my thoughts on psychedelics in the spiritual path. Like I haven't made any videos about that. I haven't addressed any thoughts about that, but it's like an active part of my life. Or like entrepreneurship and building a business in the spiritual path, or uh talking about what I intend to do with Buddy. Like, dude, there's just a million things. Like you could talk about your thoughts that you have surrounding work and career, bro. Like it's just I see it more so as like a way to reflect and document what I think about rather than a way to like help other people most of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I've
then
moved
naturally
towards
the
that now.
audience yeah, and the
Yeah,
audience will like they'll ask you for shit. Like now sometimes people comment on my videos and be like, "Can you make a video on marijuana in the spiritual path?" Somebody commented that yesterday. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure."
yeah. Nice. That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
So I think it's just consistency, bro. Like that's the thing is like it's so easy to not make the video when you do all the preparation. But if you do it ad hoc and post it, then it's like, okay, at least I got a video out. At least I did something.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, bro, I'm gonna go eat because I haven't eaten yet. So, gonna eat some
Sounds
lunch.
good, bro.
Yeah, we should have like another call sometime. It's been really
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. Yeah, now that yeah, I had a great time. And now that my schedule is like I'm more on top of my shit when it comes to communicating and scheduling and things like that. So it shouldn't be so long to schedule another meeting
Yeah, no
either.
worries. Yeah, just let me know. We can have that meditation coaching session. I'm excited.
Absolutely, bro. That'd be great. And then, yeah, honestly, I could record that, and then that's the other thing. You could just record that. I could just record that and post it on my YouTube. And be
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
coaching.
Exactly. Content. Yeah. You
Yeah,
reckon I should post this
exactly.
we recorded today of some of our
Yeah, do what
conversation?
you want with it, bruh.
Yeah, cool. Sweet as. Might post it.
Cool. Well, all right, bro. I will catch you when I catch you.
Catch you later. Bye.
Peace.